Well, hello all. Kind of a walking video to start off with. Lots of stress these days. Lots happening in my life. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, a lot of family being displaced and money problems and all that kind of thing. But not much we can do about it. We all may be living in a van before long at the rate things are going. Rents here in San Francisco plummeted in just a couple weeks 4% more downwards. Needs to go a lot further before anybody can afford rent here. It's now at about $3,200 for a one bedroom and between $3,000 and $7,000 for a two bedroom in a lousy part of the city. So it's still got about 50% more to crash. Hopefully it will do that very shortly. A lot of people are running out of time. Money isn't coming in, and the stress is getting worse and worse by the day. I can feel it. I'm sure most everyone can too. For whatever good it is, Biden is ahead now 16 points. But as I've said before, do the elections really matter when you rig the whole thing to begin with? Look at Putin. People vote against him by over 50%, and he wins by 99%. I kind of suspect that's what will happen here, and if it doesn't, the Supreme Court will get involved and give Trump another 4 years. And what about this so-called coronavirus he has? Oh man, this guy will stoop to the absolute bottom of the barrel to try and get people to feel sorry for him and vote for him. That includes faking a coronavirus infection. Just, you can't make this shit up. It feels more and more like we are in a simulation, and there's some kind of civilization out there desperate to figure out how to get out of this situation. So we're running it for them to figure it out. Well, that's as good a theory as any. Well, let's go up here and talk some environmental news. Alright guys, I wanted to talk about a couple of articles on the environment. ExxonMobil to increase annual carbon dioxide emissions. Exxon annual CO2 emissions increase will be about 17% more. That is 21 million metric tons by 2025. So even though we have an absolute environmental catastrophe happening, people are still driving more and more and using more and more plastic and other fossil fuel products that they need to increase drilling even more. But that's not all. This is some more of that insanity. McDonald's wants tougher deforestation rules. McDonald's annual sales is about $21.08 billion annually. A lot of that sales is meat and meat products, such as McNuggets or chicken nuggets or something like that. Whoops, hang on a minute. The fast food industry is the fastest growing meat industry anywhere in the world. People want their meat, their cheap, garbagey meat that comes from the Amazon and other forests. McDonald's itself is driving illegal and rapid deforestation of the Amazon rainforest. And they're calling for rules to stop when all they have to do is stop deforestation themselves by not ordering meat. A lot of the damage comes from meat being sold to Britain, the EU, and the US. The cattle feed itself is made of soybeans, a lot of it, and comes from soybeans grown in the deforested regions of the forest of the world. They're replacing forests with soybeans. Bad news, really bad news. Here comes some more people. Oh well. I'm like. And she's like and I'm liking. Everybody's like. Some more companies that contribute to deforestation are Walmart, Costco, Target, and fast food restaurants are all contributing to the wiping out of the forests. There are more companies called fossil fuel companies that will now go into the forest because of Trump and start deforestation and road building and destruction of the only forest left. And it just goes on and on and on. As soon as you get one problem solved, such as people eating tuna, so that the tuna fish could come back to life, which they have come back some, but not like they were supposed to. As soon as that's done, then another thing pops up. Meat eating, fast food, consumption of too much plastic and too much fossil fuel products. On and on and on. Well, let's go down and around that corner and see what we can find. I've not been over here before. I didn't even know there's a sidewalk down there. One of the reasons that we're having so many wildfires on the west coast of the US, Spain, Europe, Russia, and the Amazon is purely because of deforestation. It's because of deforestation. The less cover, the less coolness kept at the Earth's surface. And the vicious circle keeps going. People's meat eating is causing the death of many animals and plants around the world because this planet can't afford to eat meat. So I wanted to touch on something real quickly. The last video, we had a discussion about COVID on there. Good one. Lots of facts and figures being put out there. And I just wanted to add one thing, is that if Trump really is faking this COVID thing, it's kind of strange. If he is faking it, and this is all bullshit to help his re-election, then what about all the people that got sick around him and with him? And what about the people getting sick in the White House as we speak because he won't wear a mask? I just can't believe what's happening. This can't be real. We have the grass fire is still burning up north here. It's taken out over 500 homes up there, and it's still going. The smoke comes around every now and then. It's not coming around right now, and it's wonderful breathing real air. It's the first time I've smelled summer here in California this year. It smells fantastic too. So my advice about sheltering in place. Sheltering in place was used right at the beginning of the COVID outbreak because people didn't know what to do. And for an emergency purpose, you shelter in place until you figure out what to do. Now that we've figured out what to do, here in San Francisco and other places, we're no longer sheltering in place. We are avoiding big crowds and wearing masks when we're around people, washing our hands when we come home, keeping the 6-foot distance and all. But the shelter in place was just kind of an emergency thing until we got a feel for what to do. I kind of think shelter in place will just drift away around the world, and people will have to learn how to live with this disease. And the ones that live with it right will live longer than the ones that don't. That's just the way nature is. You either got it or you don't. I definitely do appreciate all the comments on my last videos. I'll put a link down below so you can read them or go add your comments to them. The ups, the downs, the new subscribers, and until next time. Well, let's go over and take a look at the board and see what people think and have written on the board.